Hello Rebels and welcome back to my life. So I want to talk about something that I actually thought of as a topic for a video way back in Vidcon of last year. So that's several months ago now, and I put it on my list and I was like, I should do that, I should do that, I should do that. Today, we're doing it. I saw a bunch of friends at Vidcon that I already knew. Some that I had met in real life before, some that I had only met online, but that I, was seeing in real life for the first time. And then I also met a bunch of new people. Some people that I had they're friends of friends who I had never known before Vidcon in any way. And one of the people that I was hanging out with, there was just a moment in the time period that we were hanging out when I looked at them and I was like, I think that they are, and then I thought of this sexuality in my mind. I don't want to say what it was or who it was, obviously, in case, because we're friends now. Maybe they watch my channel, I don't know. But I thought that they might not be heterosexual, and I was going to ask them about it. And then I thought about it a lot, and I did not. And here's why. If you are hanging out with somebody and you think that they might not be heterosexual, or your sexuality, whatever it is, and you want to ask them about it, you want to ask them if that's the case and sort of like what it's like and everything like that, just don't. Just don't actually do that, okay? Now understand, I'm specifically talking about like somebody that you've just met, right? Or somebody who you don't necessarily know very well. If you're like very, very good friends with somebody, or if you've known somebody since you were both 5 and now you're both 25 and you're like, hey, I just wanted to ask you about this thing. Like if there's a long-standing relationship, right? But if you have just met this person or have only hung out with them a few times, if you're not necessarily what you would call close friends yet, you shouldn't do this. The first thing is that you could make them intensely uncomfortable. When you get asked about that sort of thing, especially if you have received any amount of discrimination, hate, microaggressions about being whatever your sexuality is, just being asked about it can be a pretty harrowing experience, right? The second good reason not to do this is unless you are actually planning on having sex with that person, there is no particular reason why you should need that information at all. Now, maybe you think, okay, so I don't need the information. I'm not planning on getting sexually or romantically involved with this person, but I'm just curious. I just want to know. And I get where you're coming from, and it's cool that you want to open-mindedly have a discussion about it and sort of find out more about what that's like with that person, but you still shouldn't. Because if you meet somebody and let's say that you suspect that they might be bisexual, okay, and you're like, I wonder sort of like what that's like. I would like to know more about what it is like to be a bisexual person. And you ask that person about it, you are basically kind of asking them to be the spokesman or representative for that entire sexuality. You might not realize that you're doing that, or you might not feel like you're doing that. Well, no, I just want one person's perspective, but like from that person's viewpoint, realize how from that person they might be afraid of saying something wrong or weird or whatever. Or you know what? They might still just be trying to figure it out for themselves. I may be incorrect about this, and if anybody is not a heterosexual out there and wants to correct me on this, feel free. But I'm pretty sure that people who are not of heterosexual sexual orientation don't have like a briefing sheet with like talking points where it's like, what's it like to be blah? Ah, well, let me tell you the first 10 things that you need to know, and here's 3 weird quirks about being, asexual. That doesn't really exist. So it's not like you're kind of expecting them to give you like a presentation on what it is to be them. And for somebody that you've just met, you just really shouldn't do that. This is not really the same thing at all, but a while ago on the Vlogbrothers channel, Hank made a video talking about why he doesn't like to discuss his religion with people, and he has since talked about it a little more, but what he was saying in the video was if he tells somebody his own personal religious beliefs or lack thereof, they immediately pigeonhole him. They think, okay, well, they make all these assumptions based off of that one fact. Whether you think you do that or not based on somebody's sexuality, you do. Like, we just all have these biases that we can work to overcome, but like, we do make those assumptions. And the people that you talk to about it, they will know that you are going to do that. So once again, if you've known the person for a long time, if you've just been friends for a while, or if they volunteer the information in the course of a normal conversation, then great, that's awesome. But if you're wondering how you should ask somebody about their sexuality, the answer is, you shouldn't. And of course, regular viewers of the channel know this, but I just want to stress for anybody who might be seeing this and me for the first time, I am a heterosexual white male who might be totally wrong about all of this, and everything that I am giving as advice in this video is meant to be respectful and helpful. And if it's not, I apologize. Let me know in the comments. That is it for today, Rebels. A special shout out to my supporters on Patreon who make the whole YouTube channel possible. If you want to be one of those excellent and incredibly attractive people, or get signed copies of my books, there are links in the description to both of those things. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!